Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Talk of the Tiger. And we're going to we got quite a bit of things on the agenda to talk about today. But first off, you notice today's t-shirt is from Hunchback Production up in Milwaukee from your friend and neighbor, Mr. DeYoung. And if you are watching this and you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and then hit the like button on this video, regardless of whether you subscribe. And then there's the little bell thing. So make sure you select notice, and that way YouTube will tell you when we drop these new things. So make sure you do all of that and tell your friends. So let's get started. Welcome to another edition. Good morning, Mr. Peterick. How are you?
Hey, Pablo, as we call you affectionately, or Paul. Yeah, it's good to have a nickname.
Whichever works.
My nickname is Jimbo since high school.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. We always have a good time. Always tell you what's new and what's going on.
All right. So first up on the list, you recently made a trip to New York, and that was for a very special honor. So tell us about that.
Yeah, my publishing company is called Primary Wave, and they've been terrific. I'm so glad I'm with a great company like that, and they have a network of people all across the country that are helping me and writers like me, and it's just a very strong organization. And they invited me up to New York, and for this big event, Songwriters Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And their hope, of course, is to get me inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in the very near future. That would be a dream come true, and they said,
and well deserved.
He said, "Well, Jim, and this is the president of Primary Wave. You've had hits in like 6 decades. I think it's time." And I said, "Okay." So that's the goal, and that's why I was shaking hands and meeting people from the Songwriters Hall of Fame and watching this amazing show, with so many big stars that I can't even begin. Songwriters, singer-songwriters, just a host of so many great guests and songwriters that have written the soundtrack to most of our lives, culminating with a live performance by Gloria Estefan.
Oh, wow.
And her husband on guitar in back of her, and her nephew and her son, and they're all up there doing her biggest hits. And for me, that was worth the price of admission, just seeing her perform. And she was in such good voice.
Very cool. Yeah, what a night. So yeah, well, let's hope that happens, because it would be definitely well deserved. You've written a few here and there. So then you made another trip. You're just going all over the place. This time you went way north, and you went up to Ottawa. Tell us about that one.
Well, that was a big honor. Borzek Lizik and Katarina, they were the Czech consulate in Chicago for many years, and I've done many events for them here in the Chicagoland area. They even traveled to Saugatuck and Michigan, Three Oaks, Michigan, to see me perform. Not only are they great people, they're big fans of me, big fans of the Ides of March, world stage, and everything I do. So Borzek, Lizik, and Katarina invited Karen and I to Ottawa to accept this great honor, the honorary award for me as a songwriter through the years and a supporter of the Czech community. And they showed us a great time. We were there for 5 days, and the very second day was the gala, where I performed probably about an hour set of my biggest hits and favorite songs to an audience of about 500. About half the audience were Czech, and the rest were just great fans of the music industry and friends of Borzek, and brought down the house, and it was just a wonderful event. And then we got the key to the city, and Karen and I, for the next 5 days, toured Ottawa and took a river cruise that, 2 hours to get to this river, and then another 2 hours along this river that actually straddled Ottawa and the USA. And we ended up in this little town and had this amazing Czech dinner. Better times cannot be had. And I wanted to thank Borzek and Katarina and little Jacob, their 4-year-old son, who reminded me a lot of a small version of Colby, who's Maisie's dear brother, Colin and Meredith's kids. And it just really made me feel at home seeing little Jacob.
Very cool. And now I know that if I need to get to Ottawa during times when they're shut down, I can talk to you to get the key to get in.
No problem. It's a skeleton key. It gets in everywhere there.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Now, following up on that, there is a new album by a group that's been around for a long, long time, has had some pretty spectacular members over the years, that you have a song on. This is from the group Alcatrazz, which listeners may remember back in the 80s. Had one of the lead guitarists was Yngwie Malmsteen. One of the lead vocalists on at least one of the albums was Graham Bonnet, who had also been with Rainbow. So talk about this new album.
Well, through the years, Jimmy Waldo has been a stalwart. If you look at the history, he survived all those regimes, probably been with the band now for 40 years or more. He's keyboards and a brilliant songwriter, great person. And he's married to a dear friend of Karen and mine, Joanne Waldo, who this really goes back. He used to date Stephen Ellis back in the day.
Wow.
So that shows you how far back we go. And so Jimmy called me maybe about a year ago and said, Alcatrazz is doing a new record, and would you consider writing a song for Alcatrazz? And I go, hell yeah. And I got right to it. And it just, boom, it just came like magic, because I know the sound of Alcatrazz, and I knew it had to be harder than the stuff that I write, like for Pride of Lions or for the Ides of March. It had to be Alcatrazz. And I started writing a song that became Gates of Destiny. And I demoed it right here in the studio with Larry, sent it to Jimmy. He goes, wow, you got it. And then he kind of hedged his bet. Next phone call, well, I love it, but it's got to pass through the committee, which is all the other members of Alcatrazz, including the very hard to please lead singer.
Who is Doogie White, who was also previously with Rainbow.
Correct. And Doogie loved it. Thank God. And they cut the heck out of it. 2 takes, apparently, from the vocalist. And send it to me. And I go, hell yeah. And it's one of the key cuts on this great new album by Alcatrazz.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear that. That should be cool.
Yeah, he's amazing. And we've stayed in touch throughout all these years as friends and collaborators.
Nice. All right. Let us move on to another fabulous event that you've been a part of over the years, and that's the Goombay Bash, which is July 21st. Tell us about that.
Well, the chant is Goombay, 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 and you can hear that echoing through the whole hall when we get there. It's a cancer research foundation. Through the years, millions and millions of dollars, something like $400 million raised for cancer research. I've been a part of almost every one, but I'm the most active this year because they're honoring me with an honorary chair, and Karen Peterick as well.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know we're really excited about it, and you feel so good being a part of something like this and watching the videos of all that's going on behind the scenes with test tubes and great strides towards curing cancer, and at least limiting, you know, the amount of it,
Yeah.
and extending people's lives. It's a big one. The big C is a big one, and just to be a part of that it's touched us all. You know, my mother had a double mastectomy way back when she was about 60 years old, and I was about 8 years old, and I remember the cries through the house, is she going to live? And my father crying in the bedroom. Well, she made it and triumphed. So that was just an amazing victory. But it can be cured. It can be put in abeyance, and that's what this is all about. And so I'm singing for cancer, and I'm doing a whole set of music this time for this great event.
Very cool. All right. The Ides are in action this summer. You're playing at a new place, not necessarily a new city, but a new venue. You're going back up to Egg Harbor, Wisconsin, but this time you're playing at the Alpine Resort, and that's on the 5th of July.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to this. This is actually the second time we've done this event for our dear old friend Greg Marsh, who lived in Chicago and is one of the best drummers in the city. I would either call Ed Breckenfeld or Greg Marsh to play on my songs. But he's also a great entrepreneur and created this great foundation. And we've in Egg Harbor, this great little town. And Karen and I are actually driving up there very soon, and we're going to rock the place. And I can't wait. It's going to be such a fun event. And
Very
we're a day early just so we can enjoy Egg Harbor.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. And another big thing. It's always fun when the Ides do this. You guys get the honor once again to sing the national anthem at Sox Park, and that's on July 7th. How's that happen? And how much fun is that for you guys?
Well, the Sox love us. We love the Sox. We had to, they wanted us to do it a few weeks ago, but I was not available. And they found us another date, and we're going to do it coming up very soon. And I have to say, you know, in all humility, that the Ides have one of the greatest versions of the anthem with the 4-part harmony. And I get goosebumps as being a part of it and singing that song with the Ides and the blend. And when we hit that last chord and the people stand up, it's worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
I want to do it every year.
Yeah. You guys definitely known for your harmonies. That's awesome. So, all righty. That's it. You start getting ready for all the things you got to get done. Oh, real quick, the new project, the Roots and Shoots, that's still going well.
Roots and Shoots is going great, little by little, writing with Dennis DeYoung, about to do the duet vocal. But there will be an event we can announce very soon for the Dream Higher album. There will be an event coming up very shortly, which we will announce soon, as soon as it starts being advertised.
Yeah.
We'll give you, you'll be the first to know, but that's going to be in July, and we're very excited about it.
Very cool. All righty. That's it. Have a good weekend, and enjoy the holiday, and have a good time up there in Wisconsin.
Happy 4th of July to everybody. Thank you, Paul, for all you do.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is fun. All right, everybody. Thank you, and see you next time.